What up, guys? Toxic Fernie here, back with another podcast video. And today we're in a very special place, local pet shop here in Medford, Oregon. And it's not just a pet shop, it's a reptile shop. Yeah, here we'll dive in more on the details about that. But how are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. Thank you to all those who have been supporting the podcast. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Your support is, very helpful. I do this for you guys. That way you guys can get to know a little bit more about me, a little bit more about, who the guests are in the podcast. But yeah, hopefully you guys can keep supporting the channel. We still have that goal to reach 100 subscribers by the ending of this year, 2025. We're at 40 right now, so 60 more and we're good. All right, guys. So for my special guest today, he's a freaking badass guitar player, bro, here in Medford, Oregon. Without further ado, el compa Celada, el compa Jose Celada. Véngase para acá, compa. Ahí you go. Or if you want, yeah, ahorita que... Thank you, bro.
Let me fix that real quick.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Brother, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, compa Jose Celada. How are you today, bro?
Dude, I'm good, man.
Yeah? Nice.
Rise and shine. Butt crack of dawn, brother.
Yeah, bro. So for those of you that don't know, it's early as fuck. It's like 5 in the morning right now. I'm kidding. It's not 5 in the morning. It's like, what, 8, 9 in the morning? Still pretty early, This is a normal time that, people, start, their jobs.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And, this is a job, so fucking support. Please tell us, bro, who are you and what do you do?
My full name is Jose Esteban Celada.
Nice.
I come from a Guatemalan family, first generation here in the U.S. So my parents came when they were like 25 or something.
Damn.
And I actually wasn't born here. I was born in Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, California?
Yeah, where I grew up for the most part of my life. I actually just moved here to Medford, Oregon, probably like 4 or 5 years ago during the pandemic.
Damn, yeah. 2020 was a crazy year.
Yeah, yeah.
You're saying that you grew up in California, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your childhood, bro. How was California like, back in your days?
It was pretty crazy. It was like when, I guess, Snoop and all that gangster rap was popular. So
okay.
It was right there by VIP Records and right by Watts, right by Compton, right by the beach. So it was beautiful and very diverse, all kinds of people out there. And but a lot of people took that gang stuff pretty serious, so all that stuff was it was kind of scary at times. My parents didn't feel safe us being out at a certain time. There was always kind of a lot of violence, but now, like, all that stuff kind of died down as the years passed, and it got a lot better, a lot more artsy, a lot friendlier than before.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, dude, because, I mean, back in the day, like, a lot of, that whole, like, gang shit, like, dude, it was popping,
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, more popping, than anything else, And it's crazy because even to this day, it's rare, like, than it was in the past. But even to this day, like, in certain parts of, Southern California, Northern California, like, sometimes, a veces, like, that shit is still, like, going,
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I don't see the point in it, like,
me neither.
It's just kids, bro. Like, if you notice, son puros morros that are like in that,
So when I was like in middle school, you just had like slightly older kids thinking they were tough.
Yeah.
I had to take like detours just to get to my house, just to avoid certain kids because they were just always looking for trouble.
No, yeah, for sure. This is a message to all the gangsters. Please do better things. That you're doing is just gonna get you into trouble. We don't want that. Like, I get it.
Yeah, we're all supposed to be united.
Yeah, we're all
not
supposed
fighting
to be.
each other, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're all supposed to be united. Especially, bro. Like, he visto que también it has to do a lot with Hispanics, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad, porque pues, dude, like, supposedly todos los hispanos are supposed to come together. They're supposed to work together. Y todo eso. Pero pues, I mean, everyone is gonna take like their own path, But I'm just saying, like, that's not the right path to go. There's other better things to do in life besides, like, wearing, some random colors and then going out, stabbing people. Yeah, so don't do that. Anyways, Celada, you come from a Christian family, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit how, your parents, raised you. I'm guessing your parents took you a lot to church también,
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, bro.
Yeah, we would go to church like multiple times a week. My father was definitely like really involved with the church. He was a deacon there, so he was involved with the music. He'd always offer his time to do voluntary work.
Right.
He was also like, it was called like it was the Royal Rangers, which is like a Christian version of the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
So, we still got to do a lot of outdoor stuff and everything, but it was a really strict church. And, a couple of our friends, when we talk about how it was back then, it's like it was pretty crazy, man. Just like the level of strictness.
Yeah, I get it, bro, porque, me, I also went to church when I was like I also went to church at a very young age. My dad started going to church when I was like about 9. And I see like, okay, I was like very into, I'll be honest, I was into church from like, it took me a while to get used to, porque I wasn't used to any of that. So I want to say from like 9 to 10, I was getting, very like involved, I guess, with the, some of the church activities, with the kids or with the teenagers, Yeah. And so, it took me like from like 9 to like 11 to like fully get like involved with like everything. And then I want to say from 11 to like probably like when I was 18, like I was like very into church, Like, obviously like I would have like, my pecado moments.
Yeah.
But who doesn't, bro? Like, I feel like everybody, like, from...
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. From youngest to oldest, like, bro, like, you're still a sinner,
Yeah. Born sinner is gonna die a sinner.
And so, but that's the cool part is that, like, like, even though you sin, bro, like, God, like, forgives you.
Yeah, it's just good to learn from it and not repeat, certain things.
Yeah, and so, como te digo, like, by the time, it's because, bro, like, when I was, like, 18, like, ya empecé a ver las cosas un poquito diferente, you know? Because throughout my time when I was in church, como tú dices, hella strict, bro. At the church that I went, if you wanted to have a privilege, whether if you wanted to be a deacon or you wanted to be a musician, like, bro, you had to be, like, very well dressed,
Oh,
like button up shirts,
like business suit.
Like business suit. You couldn't wear regular, jeans.
Yeah, you couldn't, no jeans,
no shorts. No. You had to wear dress shoes. And dude, I remember one time, donde like I was growing out my hair. I was still playing drums at that time at church.
Yeah.
But I was like growing out my hair, bro. Dude, and the pastor, like, at that point, I looked at it like pretty messed up, but the pastor saw me, like, he noticed that like my hair was getting longer, and he's all like, si no te cortas ese pelo, te vas a ir al infierno.
Damn, straight up like
bro.
that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that ain't his choice though, man. It's not his decision.
That's what he said, and then he's all like, that he wasn't gonna let me play drums anymore.
That's one thing I didn't understand. They were so against long hair. But every picture of Jesus, he had long hair. So, and then like the Bible says, like to be like him. So
yeah, because
this is very
because también
contradictory.
No. Porque también Jesus had a beard,
Yeah,
But at church, bro, like you could not.
Yeah, you had to be clean cut and everything, man.
Yeah. Was your church like that too?
Yeah. Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, girls couldn't wear pants.
Yeah, no, they had to wear skirts and like the long ones.
Yeah,
like, all the way down.
Their justification for that was like, oh, you gotta represent and they gotta know you're Christian and stuff like that. But
Simon, yeah.
Yeah, but the older I got, it's like it's not how you dress. It's like just how you carry your life. Because then people see like, oh, this dude has something about him, like some kind of light, just some kind of like,
yeah,
just how you carry yourself.
Me personally, it's like, the relationship is between you and God, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no one else is somebody to tell you what to do, whether they go to church or not, Some people that go to church, that think they're, like, so Christian, like, they're able to, like, change you, But
yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like
they
that.
They almost carry themselves like they have some kind of special powers.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely not like that.
Yeah.
If that's your mindset, no. That's not the right mindset. Anyways, bro, another thing like the thing is that you're also a guitar player, right?
Yeah, that's how I started off music. My dad saw I had a little bit of like talent, like, you know, I was picking up pretty quick, and then, you know, his idea was like, all right, well, here you go, like, just start playing there. But all it was just like, you know, just all that old school church music. And the second they heard me playing something that wasn't Christian, or, you know, to me it was just music, and I was just trying to expand and learn more. But they would just like put you on discipline. Like,
dude, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
How long would the discipline be?
Probably like 2 weeks or something.
I mean,
so in 2 weeks usually you'd play like Friday and twice on Sunday, so it was like you missed out on six
services.
Yeah.
How long were your guys' services?
Usually like 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. Ours were like, well, I'm not gonna lie, ours were like about the same. Like supposedly they were 2 hours, but
sometimes he'd get into it, so you know,
they would expand it, bro. And sometimes that, you know, that would be to like 2 hours and a half, or nearly like 3 hours, you know.
Yeah. But even since then, like, just as a kid, like, I never liked being confined, so I was always like in ways like rebelling, not like disrespectful to anybody, but you know, just like almost like the black sheep, you know, out of all my brothers, because like everybody else was like very well behaved, would just always give into whatever they say. And but I feel like that always pushed me to want things more, because they told me, you can't be playing this music, you can't. And I was like, I'll show you, you know.
Yeah, dude, I mean, sometimes that's the way it is, you know.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you have siblings. How many siblings do you have?
I'm one out of 7.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
You have a lot of siblings, bro.
So I have 5 brothers and 1 sister.
Oh, okay. Are you the oldest or youngest, or in the middle?
I'm the second last out of all those.
Oh, so you're like the second youngest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all the rest of your brothers are a lot older.
Yeah, and it's Obed, the one that you met. He's my only younger brother.
Shout out Obed.
Yeah, wherever you're at. No, he's in California right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Yeah. So feliz cumpleaños al compa.
Yeah, happy birthday, Obed.
Hope you're doing good, bro. Don't party too hard. Don't get too crazy. Anyways, how old is your oldest sibling?
He's like 40, 42.
Oh, okay. And were you guys always like close?
Not. There was like a big age gap, so they all, you know, I only kind of had my sister around mostly, and then here and there they came back, you know, when they were having hard times or whatever, you know. But I didn't grow up. We didn't grow up in a full house together.
Oh, I see. Dang. Sometimes it's like that, bro, and it's tough, you know. Like, luckily for me, you know, like, you know, I have 2 older sisters, and you know, I was, you know, lucky enough to grow up with them, you know, like, because they were the ones who took care of me when I was little. But when they got older, you know, they, you know, moved on with their lives. They're still here in Medford, Oregon. You know, we still like have each other's back on like whatever we need help with, you know. So like we have that like trust and, you know, confident in each other to like, you know, like if we need something, like we can, you know, hit each other up, and then ahí vemos qué pasa. But yeah, dude, the times in church, they were crazy. Like, all right, bro, so you said like if you got caught doing something that you would get disciplined. Now tell us, what was something like así crazy, or not even crazy, but like they thought it was crazy that you did that you had to get disciplined for?
Okay. It's just like, I was always into like just exploring music, you know. So back then it was like just CDs. So my friend burnt me a CD of like 50 Cent, like the Massacre album. So and he labeled it. It didn't have a picture, so I just labeled it like Christian hits or something. So my dad, if he saw it, he wouldn't think too much of it.
Yeah.
And
that's smart.
Yeah, but my dad wanted to listen to the Christian songs that I had on that CD, and then when he just thought it was like gangster rap, dude, he like whooped my ass. He broke the CD in front of me, and then he like put me in front of the church.
Oh.
Yeah, so everybody could pray for me, because they were saying like, oh, the devil's trying to win over my son.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
and everybody was just, dude. After that, people will look at you a little different, like,
Oh, yeah.
like the mom's like, oh, like taking their kids away, like he's a troublemaker.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, I'm like, bro, it really wasn't that big of a deal.
Dude, that's crazy, bro.
But I still love 50 Cent till this day, though.
Yeah. He has really good music.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one of my disciplines that I got también. So check this out, right? I was like about 16 when this happened. So I was already playing drums at church, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I started dating this girl that was I was in high school, right? So I met this girl in high school and, you know, like me gustaba, you know, y pues yo también le gustaba a ella. So we started dating, right? I started taking her to church, bro, which was probably like, I wouldn't say a mistake or, I mean, I don't know. But the point is I started taking her to church, you know, just so she can see like the other side of me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I asked her like at the end of the service if she liked it. She said que sí, estuvo bien el servicio, you know? This girl, right? Dude, like, I'm not gonna lie, she was cool, pero me dejaba marcado, bro. You know what that means, right?
Oh, yeah, huh?
Dude, like, me daba hickeys.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, bro. When I went to church, bro, the pastors and everyone at church, they saw me like that, bro. And so, obviously, when they see you with hickeys, what does that mean, bro? Like, they think...
that you're fornicating,
Exactly.
you're, you know...
So, bro, this was so embarrassing también, güey, porque they found out, the pastor, like, at the end of the service told me, like, oh, like, can you stay after? Like, I want to talk to you about something. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, you know, like, I'm pretty sure, I already knew what it was going to be about. But, bro, I didn't know that I thought it was just going to be me and him, you know? Or, like, him, me, and my dad, you know? But no, bro. Este pastor grabbed literally, like, the whole, like, deacons.
Damn.
Like, everybody who had, like, a privilege.
The disciples, bro.
Yeah. I see. And that's when we started, you know... talking about like what was going on with me, and they told me that they were gonna discipline me for like, dude, if I'm being honest, that shit was like a good, if I remember correctly, it was like a good 2 to 3 months.
Damn, that's a long time.
It is, bro. I couldn't play drums, and you know, like, honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, playing drums at church was mainly one of the like reasons why I would go to church.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing, just because that was always in me to just play music.
Yeah, like that's when I started noticing that music was like my passion, you know? Yeah, and como te digo, bro, like that happened, and then I guess obviously, bro, like rumors spread like crazy, bro.
Damn.
So, como tú dices, people start looking at you weird, and you know, the moms would be telling the kids like, hey, like,
Try to avoid
don't no te acerques.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like, we're humans, bro. Like, we're gonna obviously, you know, our body like is obviously gonna want to experience things outside of church, you know, because you never really know until you try it, you know. Same with like me drinking, you know, like, or me, you know, smoking, you know, like you never know until you try it. Me at first, bro, like. When I started drinking, I was probably like around 18. But if I'm being honest, bro, like it wasn't my thing.
Hey, surprisingly, I didn't have my first drink till I was 21.
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you were already of age. You were living in California. Okay. Damn.
I moved out here when I was 27, 28.
Oh, okay.
I'm 31 now.
Damn.
Yeah,
I mean, you're still young, bro. Yeah, you're still young.
Definitely, man. I feel like my life's just beginning.
What got you into music? But you're pretty much saying like from church y todo eso, right?
Yeah, that like never died.
At church,
yeah, it never died. Once I picked it up, then like
it was like one of the main things.
It's like an obsession, dude. I always just wanted it to be better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted it to be the best, you know, but just like
be better than like what you want now.
Then I was last week. Then I was, you know, just
That's a good mindset, bro. Porque not a lot of musicians like have that mindset. You know, a lot of musicians think, oh, like I'm good already. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, pero pues, you know, like, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, like, dude, like in la música, like you're never gonna stop learning.
Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah, it's like a ongoing, thing, like especially like if you're passionate about it, as a bunch of like, well, I started off at church, like church music was, at that time, it was kind of hard to like get the hang of it because you had to be on time with the tempo, whether if it was a simple rock beat or just like a slow song. Pero then when I started getting the hang of it, that's when I started to do jazz band. And in jazz band, aprendí un poquito más. And then from jazz band, that's when I started looking up other genres of music, And that's when I really got into like the regional Mexican music, Yeah, dude. And to this day, like I still feel like I'm not saying like que me falta, pero me falta, bro. You get what I mean? Like I have it down, but for sure I can definitely get better.
Oh yeah,
than
for
what
sure.
I already have down, Yeah, so that's always a good mindset, to have. So musicians, pónganse las pilas. Now let's talk about why did you move to Oregon, bro?
I used to work for the Postal Service,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there for about 6 years, and everybody was supportive about that. Like, oh, you got to get a job. They're convincing me just to like retire there. Like, oh, you pretty much you got it made if you just stick it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my mindset. I was like, sure, it's not that bad. The benefits are good. The pay is good, but the scheduling and it pretty much your life revolves around that place. You have to like adapt to the schedule that they give you, and they're just looking for anything to get you in trouble. And we have a union, but even the union there was like not really on your side. They were always siding with like management and stuff, which was like, why do we even have a union? Yeah. But anyways, the reason I left was once COVID hit, they were trying to mandate the vaccine on the employees. They were separating the unvaccinated people and the vaccinated people because
times were tough back then.
The people that were vaccinated were like, oh, I don't want to work with what's his name because he doesn't have his vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So it was getting like stressful. There was like curfew times, everything was just weird in the city, like especially like in Long Beach, around LA, like things were tense, and I was just like, that's it, man. Like I put my 2 weeks in, and I just grabbed all my animals and everything, packed up my car, and just moved out here.
Oh dang! How many animals did you have at that time?
Damn, I had like 4 different species of frogs.
Oh dang.
2 different kinds of geckos, a tortoise, 2 snakes.
Yeah.
So my car was like, it was just a small Subaru wagon, so it was just like packed of animals.
Dang, dude.
And that's how I landed at this pet shop, because once we moved out here, I wanted to support a local business, so I looked it up. There was Petco, PetSmart, and I saw Primeval Pets. I just came over here and just to buy crickets and stuff for my animals, and I just asked the lady, like, oh, are you hiring by any chance? And pretty much she was just like, can you start today?
Dang.
And I've been here ever since.
Right away, dude. Like, right away, she put you to work.
Yeah.
Nice. Also, were you, like, into, like, reptiles when you were a kid?
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, that was my favorite thing. I grew up, like, watching The Crocodile Hunter and stuff like that.
Nice.
When we'd go camping.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, dude. To my hero. When we'd go camping, I was always out like by the stream looking for frogs, looking for lizards, under rocks, everything. That was like another passion of mine, just animals and just keeping them and just like making enclosures like as close as possible to their natural habitat.
Simon, like around how old were you when you started?
Probably like 7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Almost as long as I can remember. I was always like fascinated by animals, especially reptiles. I don't know what it was. Like I just always liked lizards and snakes and geckos and stuff.
Yeah, dude, was that's good. Like a normal person would be like, oh yeah, like I like dogs, I like cats. Pero reptiles, bro, like it's I'm not saying it's rare, pero like it is rare. Pero it's cool, cada quien va a tener su preferencia de animales.
I have a dog too, and I love cats and dogs, but I just love. It's because like reptile, the way I set up their enclosures, you could kind of see, but they all have like live plants in there, and I love plants too. So it was like combining 2 of my hobbies, like live plants and the animals, because the plants give them oxygen and stuff, and more of a natural habitat.
They kind of need that shit, no, to survive. Yeah, damn.
Well, to thrive,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. How long did you work here in the shop? And then to like how long did it take you to be like, yeah, the owner?
Oh, okay. So it was about just a year and a half.
Okay.
I was working for the previous owner, Lisa. She was 65, and I was just like this younger guy, you know, like her strongman, I guess, or someone just to help her lift all that, because there's so many animals here, and there's like rodents, crickets, bugs, like all kinds of things, and she was like kind of already like giving up, just because, you know, she was like tired all the time and everything, and it was hard for her to keep up because this place just kept growing. So for her, it was like kind of piling up too much, and she would always joke around at first, like, oh, you know, you're gonna take over this shop one day and when I retire. And, you know, I was like, I didn't take it that serious, because I just wanted to take care of the animals and not worry about the business aspect of everything. And the sooner it came, and she was like, okay, I'm really gonna retire, and the shop's gonna be up for grabs, and she's like, I'd rather have one of the employees get it, because she was like, especially you, because like, you know, the front, back, you know, when the orders, how much of everything we need, and you already know the ropes, like just how to run this place. And, you know, I had to talk to my family, and, you know, I wasn't going to take it. But then, like, when I found out someone else was probably like up for it, in my mind, I was like, what are you doing, man? Like, this is like your dream, that you were just praying and asking God to, you know, send you a sign, something, you know, and this is your sign. Like, just go and grab it. Like, don't be scared, because you already have all this knowledge. You know, you could only build up from what she had, because I would always throw her ideas, and she would she was kind of like old school, so she wasn't on the technology platforms, like she wasn't on social media or anything like that. So all that, like, I already had all these ideas for like videos, and it just all worked out. And I just, you know, then I got like this calmness, and just finally told her and she was just like, good, you know, like it's just, she was like happy.
Yeah, that's good, porque como te digo, dude, not a lot of people, I mean, there is a lot of people, but tampoco there's a lot of people that, you know, have a goal, but they don't achieve it, you know? For you, pues, you know, like, it was basically like right there, you know? Like, basically like, como taking, like, handing the mantle, you know? Type thing, you know? So in a way, sí te fue bien, dude, porque, you know, como tú dices, you love animals, you love plants, reptiles, and dude, aquí you have it all, bro.
And my guitar, like, this is where I practice most of the time too, because
like, you got your own space también, you know, like, your basically privacy también, you know, which is good, you know. Nice. Well, dude, I'm glad, you know, it all worked out for you, you know, like, it seems like you're very happy here. So
I love it. I'm not gonna say it's like all easy work. There's like a lot, dude. It's just me and one other guy, and there's so many animals here that, you know, all these little heartbeats, you have to like keep them alive. And most of these animals have like different requirements. They eat different things, and you know, that you just got to keep up with. But it's a passion, so it doesn't feel like I'm working. It's like my hobby, so it doesn't, you know,
it's like your hobby, but you're making money off of it.
Business is good too. Like, you would be surprised on the reptile scene here. So many people, we are like fascinated with the reptiles too, so we constantly get people coming in from even this is literally the biggest like reptile shop in Southern Oregon.
Oh, wow.
So people come from Wairika, they come from like Klamath Falls, from Crescent City.
Nice.
We get just people from everywhere.
Yeah, that's good, dude. It's good, you know, to put this shop out there, you know, para que la gente sepa que this shop también is here, you know, like if they're looking for like a specific reptile, you know.
We specialize in like, okay, so we have tortoises, we have different kinds of tortoises, we have different species of geckos, different species of frogs, spiders,
tarantulas,
snakes, ball pythons. So pretty much whatever someone is looking for, if they want something little and cute, we got it, or if they want something big and scary, like right off camera here, there's like this 7-8 foot boa constrictor, but you know, like, there's something for everybody here for sure. And there's, you know, we get all these clients that come in not just as customers, but they feel like connected to us and the animals, and they like to come and hang out and help. We get so many volunteers. And something else I do is I do like school presentations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll like go dressed up like the crocodile hunter. So I have like my khaki, khaki shirt, the safari hat, the shorts,
cargo shorts.
Yeah. So it's just I'm having fun with it, dude. It's literally like a dream come true, you know.
That's good, bro. Como te digo, you know, good for you. You know, like you're doing what you love. You know, you're doing, you know, what you're passionate about. And yeah, once we're done with the podcast, you know, I'll record, you know, some of the some of the animals. That way the people, you know, can see. Yeah, pero está chido, bro. Está chido. La neta, like, yeah, pues, como te digo, bro, like, if this makes you happy, bro, like, you know, just stick with what makes you happy, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Aparte, you said it's just you and one other employee, right? For someone who, you know, loves reptiles, is into reptiles, is there a chance that, like, you guys could, like, hire someone that has the same passion?
Oh, yeah. That's exactly. I'm looking for, like a right... The other guy that works for me, he's already, like, an older dude, but he's in charge of all the snakes. But I want somebody to kind of help me out with, like, keeping up with these animals so I could, like, break away here and there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we do a lot of side stuff with the band, too. Like, there's, like, sound check. You got to go at random times, and I can't... Yeah, it gets so busy here. I feel bad leaving homeboy by himself.
For sure, yeah. So if you're listening and you're a reptile lover, and you're in the Medford, Oregon area, right here, Primeval Pets, this is the place you know to come support El Compa Celada. You know, to do something that you love, which is feed reptiles. You know, or más bien just be around them. You know, like work with them.
Yeah, I kind of need somebody that already has knowledge on like bioactive enclosures, which are like how to actually successfully plant. And these plants thrive in the tanks. Yeah, there's like certain steps. I need someone that's like that has that knowledge and knowledge about spiders, knowledge about like the bearded dragons, the different kinds of geckos and tortoises. Because we get constantly people like, oh, I'm looking for a crested gecko. Yeah, and then you got to know like how to keep them, what they eat. You know their temperature requirements and everything. So and that on any animal, they could come and ask you about any of these animals here. So you kind of you got to be like quick.
Yeah, for sure. It does take knowledge. Eso sí, porque dude, like if me, like, you know, it's just someone who doesn't know a lot. You know, I'll just be like, oh, like, do you have a snake? And then they're gonna be like, oh, what specific snake? Oh, just a snake. Como te digo, yeah. So if you're looking for a job, you have knowledge about this whole reptile stuff and all that, Primeval Pets is the place to work at, you know, so you can support El Compa Celada here. And you mentioned, bro, that a veces you need help porque pues sometimes, como tú dices, you're busy with other side things, you know. And one of those side things, bro, is the band. So, So now let's talk about Combustión.
Combustión. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's...
All right. Yeah. So now tell us, how did Combustión, you know, come to you, or how did you go to Combustión? Like, tell us that story,
all right, bro. Well, I just had a friend that knew the band already, and then they knew that they needed a guitarist, and they were just telling me like they were having trouble with the person they had. Yeah. And I've always loved like rock en español, like it's just from a young age, always getting in trouble over it. Like, oh, that I was like, dude, I would love to be in this band, but I didn't think I was like, what if they don't like me and stuff like that? And the first one I hit up connected me with Uri.
Yeah, shout out El Compa.
Yeah, fucking Uri, man. Dude, that fool's a beast.
Yeah.
That fool gets quite the specimen. Uri's a vibe for sure, man.
Yeah, dude, he's cool to chill with.
He pushes you for sure. For one of their first rehearsals, and it was so random for me, you know. I was like kind of nervous and stuff. It was out in the strawberry fields. Yeah. It was at a barn. I was like, am I at the right place? It kind of seems like in the middle of nowhere.
It is kind of like confusing to get there.
Yeah, and then I just see Uri come out. He's like, hey, I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah. And it's funny, they thought I was gonna be some old dude or something, but they were glad. But it's been like such a amazing journey with these guys too, because they all have that fire in them, like the same kind of mentality as me, like where, you know, it's never good enough. Like we're always pushing each other. We always like pick on each other on our flaws and stuff, but it's not to bring them down, but to like, you know, like encourage, you know, bring them up more, you know, because you need some constructive criticism. You can't just be like, oh, that was good,
Yeah.
and then just like it's all sugar and it's all sweet. And
No, yeah, I get what you mean. Porque, I'm also in the band. Shout out to Los Elegidos if they're watching. You gotta be honest with your band members,
Yeah.
Like, you gotta call them out on them. And that will, yeah, you're right. Sometimes they'll feel down, but it's not to, like, make them feel down, It's to, like, push them to, like, be better, That's crazy, like, you're saying that, you're happy with Combustión, you get along with the guys.
yeah,
Tell us a little bit about the guys, bro.
we become like brothers. It's like a brotherhood for sure. Everybody's so different, but what brings us close is just like that passion for the same style of music. And ever since we started, boom, it just feels like magic every time we're playing. And you never know if these things take off. You go perform somewhere, and
Yeah.
I've been to concerts and shows and stuff, and usually you'll just see people just like standing and recording or anything. But ever since our first show, man, like it always just brings me so much joy to see like people like dancing and enjoying their time, and just having a blast with us. And it's just such a rewarding feeling to see people like actually enjoy, and your music is making people move. Oh, yeah. Instead of just being like, instead of just spectating.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, I've noticed that you guys for sure have a crowd, bro. And, like, it's crazy porque lo que le dije al compa Eliezer last time is that you guys are basically like the only rock in español band here in the valley.
Yeah.
Which is, good, porque like other bands, like they're a lot similar, like there's a lot of grupos norteños, there's a lot of local like rock bands, pero like in English,
Yeah.
Yeah, pero bro, rock en español, like I feel like you guys like hit the spot with that genre,
Yeah.
Porque there's a lot of people like that fuck with that genre,
Yeah.
And and como tú dices, bro, it's important to have like a good crowd, porque the crowd, dude, it tells you everything, like if you're doing it right,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cause let's say like you're playing right and the crowd is like apagado, like they're off. Then, bro, like it's cause, bro, like energy transmits, bro. So
definitely.
So if they're having fun, bro, you're gonna have even more fun.
Yeah, dude, I love it, man. It does fill me up, man, and it gives me so much energy for like the rest of the week.
That's good, dude.
From like one event, like we just had this past show in El Patron. Thank you for everybody who went. Yeah. Oh my god, that we had a blast. It had to be one of the longest times like that I like the band or I by myself like that that we played. It was we started like at 10:15 or something.
Yeah,
we put down our instruments like around 1:30 in the morning. We just had one 15-minute break in the middle, but time just flew by. It's literally just like a dream. Like you get up, you walk up to your instrument, and next thing you know, like it just flies by. And
yeah, especially like when you're having fun,
Yeah,
time just se pasa de volada, And damn, so how long did you guys play for? Like a total?
Like 3.5 hours.
Damn, 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
That's tough because when I just started, I was like, how am I gonna memorize all this stuff?
Oh yeah, that's right. Porque when you first started, like, did you already like know some of the songs?
Yeah, okay. I knew probably like 60% of the songs already. But there was like so much new material, and he wanted like a solid 2-hour list. And then it expanded to 2.5, and then to 3. Yeah, it just happened naturally. But it's crazy to think, to actually just be playing that much music for that long. It's
gonna happen, Like a veces there's gonna be times where, like, for example, like us play the most hours. It's in private parties.
Oh, okay.
So private parties will either go from 4 hours to 6-7 hours, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, but obviously we take breaks in between, Sometimes, the clients, they get into, the whole vibe, the whole party, and they'll want, like more hours for us to stay and play, And it's fun, dude. But I'm gonna tell you, bro, like at the end of the night, it's fucking tiring.
Yeah, then you gotta put all the stuff away and pack up. That's the toughest part.
Yes, but in the way, like, it's still worth it, Yeah, okay, you're still doing something you love. You're doing something you're passionate about, and you're making money,
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can like have a job, be passionate about it, and make money off of it.
That's why I'm so grateful. I didn't think we were gonna be getting paid at all. Like you know, I went to the first practice and Uri was just being funny. Was like, nah, bro, we're kind of professionals here. I was like, oh, dang, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, we just play with our hearts, just fully out there, man. And
gotta give it your all. Gotta give it your all, bro. Always, you know. And that's how I think me and you met, was through Uri.
Yeah, through Uri.
It's cool to like have friends that know other friends, and those friends become friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Because we all share that same like passion too. Like you're in a different band, but you're doing it for the same reasons, because you're like passionate about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I catch you guys at the gym occasionally, but I usually go at like early in the morning. We open at 11 here, 11 to 6:30.
Nice.
You could catch me here. If you want to hold a snake, you want to hold a spider, you want to hold my hand, just go through.
For sure, yeah. Like, fuck, like anything fucking that you want to hold, just come to Primeville Pets. They got everything here. Yeah, bro. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up the podcast, dude. I appreciate, you know, you letting us borrow, you know, the shop, you know, to have for the video, you know, like as you can see, you know, we'll show you some of the different animals that, you know, El Compa Celada has here. But yeah, dude, other than that, you know, I appreciate, you know, the time, you know, you have to record a podcast with me. Like, not a lot of people have, like, time to do, like, extra shit.
Oh, yeah.
If you get what I mean? But, dude, you know, you were willing to, like, do this. Like, I want to thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming here, man. It's just it was my first podcast, and it's such a fun experience. So
yeah, for sure, dude. No,
definitely.
Yeah, you'll for sure be here more often, bro. Like, it's not the first time. It's definitely, well, it's the first time, but it's definitely not going to be the last time.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really appreciate you guys, you know, the ones who stay all the way towards the end. If you guys want to come in person, you know, be sure to come to Primeville Pets here in West Main, Medford, Oregon. So yeah, thank you, Compa Celada.
Yeah, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man.
Yeah, like and subscribe, bro.
Hit that notification bell.
For sure, because, dude, it really shows, like, the support, you know, like, it really, you know, like, it really helps, you know, like, YouTube, you know, like, also, like, sees, you know, the progress, you know, and once YouTube sees, then, hey, like, opportunities get open to you, you know. So that's technically, you know, one of my goals, you know, but for sure, one of my goals is to at least reach like 100 subscribers, at least by the ending of this year, you know. So, hey, if you have a lot of family members, a lot of friends, be sure to please let them know about this podcast. You know, it's one of the only podcasts here in Medford, Oregon. We can have that success here in the further future. But other than that, bro, thank you so much.
Don't forget to look up Combustion on like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook for our future events.
Yeah, for sure. If you fuck with rock en español, be sure to, you know, look up Combustion, and there you'll see, like, you know, all their videos, you know, all their, you know, stuff, so you guys can keep updated with them and their next event. I think their next event is in Casa Vieja, no?
Yeah, that's like I think May 3rd.
May 3rd.
Yeah.
So Cinco de Mayo, almost Cinco de Mayo, 3 de Mayo. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be like in that weekend, huh?
Yeah, okay, I think it's celebrating that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, so yeah, May 3rd. Remember May 3rd, Casa Vieja here in Medford, Oregon. If you want to see Combustion, be sure to check them out there. They're going to be live, you know, again for another 3 hours.
Damn, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. So remember, guys, appreciate, you know, the time that you guys stayed all the way, for the ones that stayed here towards the end. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. Toxic for Neat out.
See ya.